Shard number 5. It's called I'm Afraid That Who I Was. And it's the story of Jacob in his early years. Makes interesting reading. You can read it in the book of Genesis, chapters 25 and 27. Here we go. Look, I didn't ask to be called Jacob, did I? Do you know what that means? It means he deceives. Well, I don't think that's very nice. Do you? So now you probably want to know if I live up to my name. Well, let me tell you about the time my brother Esau gave me his birthright. A birthright in Israel was very worthwhile. For a start, as the eldest son, you received all the privileges. And secondly, you got a double apportionment of everything that came your way. So it was well worth having. So, how did I get his birthright off him? Well, the poor chap came in faint with hunger, and I just happened to be cooking up a bowl of stew. So I said, look, you can have this bowl of stew if you give me your birthright. And he did. So now I've got his birthright, cheap at the price. Then, with the help of my mother, Rebecca, we deceived my father when he was blind and lying on his deathbed. Now, that wasn't very nice. However, I dressed up in animal furs because Esau was a hunter, whereas I was an agriculturalist. So he gave me, that's my father, gave me the blessings intended for the elder son because he thought I was Esau because he could smell the fur and so on. I know, it wasn't very nice. You don't need to tell me. Esau, who was, shall we say, a little bit slow on the uptake, but of a quite formidable physique, let me know who's going to finish me off at the end of the mourning period. So my mother dispatched me to her brother Laban over in Haran, well out of the way. Well, my behavior didn't really change when I got there, but I have to admit that in Laban, I had met my match. Well, in Haran, I fell in love with Rachel, Laban's younger daughter. She was wonderful to look at, beautiful in form and beautiful in looks. I fell in love with her. She was a real looker. I didn't fancy Leah, the elder daughter, because she had weak eyes. I didn't like the look of that. So we had the wedding feast and then went to bed. And guess what? When I woke up in the morning, who do you think was lying next to me? It was Leah, not Rachel. What a trick. If I'd thought that up for myself, I would have impressed myself, I think. Anyway, Laban did give me Rachel as well, but I had to work another 7 years for her. Now, during those second 7 years, Laban changed my wages no less than 10 times. Well, he had a real power hold over me because I couldn't go back. But I came out ahead. I made an agreement with Laban that I would look after his flocks in exchange for keeping any lambs that were speckled or spotted. Normally there wouldn't be that many, but I fixed things so that there were. And I did that for 6 years. And the result of that was that poor old Laban's flocks got smaller and smaller, while mine got bigger and bigger. So I got quite wealthy. And in the end, I decided after 20 years, I'd had enough. So I stuck it out. I reckoned Esau might be well out of the way by the time I got back, or if he was still there, you never know, he might have forgiven me. Or on the other hand, he could be nursing that sense of revenge, even after 20 years. However, I decided that facing Esau was probably a better bet than sticking with Laban for another 20 years or so. So I left with all my possessions and my family without saying goodbye to Laban, and off I went. I had the last laugh there. But on the way home, things changed. You don't mind calling me Israel now, do you?